Hello, Wolfpack, and how cool is it that we get to see each other like face to face a couple times this week? This is fun. Welcome to my first impressions of one of the most exciting games coming out this year, Arizona Sunshine 2. Yeah, Fred is back.
Uncle Fred? Who's Uncle Fred?
So I was fortunate enough to travel to New York and play about an hour of this game alongside the game's director. Before I dive into that experience, I want to talk a little bit about the original Arizona Sunshine. Now, this game came out in like 2016, about 7 years ago, and it was one of the first games to have a full campaign. Now, it was relatively short, but there was narration and story beats and linear progression, and these were things that didn't really exist in VR games at the time. As you know, people joke about all the time, it was mostly tech demos, or like on-rail shooters. Arizona Sunshine also had another selling point, and that was co-op. You could go through the entire campaign with a friend, which was also not a common thing in VR. It was tough to play with people, one, because a lot of people didn't have headsets, and two, these games just didn't exist. Now, Arizona Sunshine told the story of a lonely man, not me, whose only friends were the zombies around him, which he called Freds. Hence, Fred is back.
Oh, now I see.
His journey ended somewhat ambiguously, as he was maybe rescued by a helicopter in the end. We pick up that story in the sequel. Now, unfortunately, I wasn't able to record any footage of my time in Arizona Sunshine 2, so whatever footage you do see on the screen here is either screenshots, GIFs, or the cinematic trailer that everyone has seen. But we're gonna make do. So I was placed into a mission near the middle of the game, and bam, we are back in a familiar looking trailer to anyone that played the original, because that was like our starting menu. I don't think it was the exact trailer, obviously, but it was like the same shape, and I was like, wow, nostalgia.
Woo, pointless nostalgia.
We step outside, and yeah, we are in Arizona. The desert is surrounding us. The sun is scorching in the sky. The game looks awesome. Now, I was playing the PC version with a Quest 2 linked to a laptop, so I don't think this was like the tippity top of high-end graphics, but it did look excellent, easily on par with some of the areas in Half-Life Alyx. The physics system was also in full force, as pretty much every single object that you saw was able to be interacted with. I was turning on ovens, I was throwing plates and smashing them against the wall. There was even a part where I was shooting limbs off of a cactus and zombies, but also the cactus really impressed me, just like where you shot, that arm would fall off. It was a great little touch. But look, who cares about any of that? That is not the point of this game. The only thing that matters in Arizona Sunshine 2 is the dog. My new best friend, Buddy. When I exited that trailer, Buddy was there, chilling in his tiny little dog bed. He came trotting toward me, and I just fell in love. He looked great graphically. His face was kind of scarred from combat. His fluffy fur actually had fluff. There was movement and depth instead of just being like flat pasted onto his body. I could move my hands through his fur. And best of all, he knew tricks. We played fetch with a zombie arm, which is crazy. He shook hands, and I just sat there petting him before like the director was like, hey, can you please play the rest of the demo? And I was like, but the dog. So Buddy is your constant companion in this game, and you control him through one of the buttons on the controller. You can tell him where to go, what to do, depending on what you're targeting with like a little reticle. So he'll interact based on what you kind of end up clicking on. He can attack zombies, pick up distant objects, or just sit in one place and not go anywhere. And just to clarify, Buddy does not take any damage. So you can send him into a horde of zombies, and he'll just start biting necks and having a gay old time. And I love him so much, and I already miss you, Buddy. This is to you, developers. If you pull any of that I Am Legend shit, I will never forgive you. So with Buddy at my side, we venture onward. The game is relatively linear. You go from point A to point B, but there's like tons of little buildings and corners to explore. There are secrets to uncover. I found a few of these like little totems that give you more lore about the world that you're in, about yourself, all that fun stuff. So, and of course, you're gonna need to scavenge for, ammunition and crafting materials, because yes, there is crafting in this game. Now, it is not nearly to the extent of Saints and Sinners. As you kind of move through the level, you'll find these like almost kitty-like crafting stations where you take 2 items, like a glue and a can of nails, and you smash them together, and suddenly you have a grenade, because that's how that works. There was 2 different types of grenades and a landmine in my demo. It looks like there was a whole bunch of stuff you'll be able to craft. Now, I was initially equipped with a pistol, bang bang, and it made short work of pretty much any zombie that I came across. Headshots are these satisfying explosions of blood and gore, and even shooting off the limbs worked well. You can shoot him in the leg, he'll fall down, start crawling, the usual stuff. The combat was very similar to After the Fall. The weapons were all manually reloaded, although I think there's options. There's a ton of different options you can have, so there might be more arcadey reloading if that's what you prefer. So Buddy and I are just blasting through these buildings, and suddenly we come upon a shopping cart. And you're like, okay, so the guy's like, hey, the director at the game thing was like, hey, I heard that German Shepherds really like shopping carts. And I was like, okay. And I point Buddy toward the shopping cart, and he gets in the shopping cart. So I'm pushing Buddy along, and it's like we're going on a shopping trip, but instead of getting groceries, I'm just shooting zombies in the head, all while Buddy's just like wagging his little tail, sitting in the thing. It's just, oh my gosh, it's the little tiny things that I fell in love with so quickly. So I'm pushing him along, and eventually we reach a backyard pool party. It's just swimming with zombies. You know, okay. I pick up a nearby flamethrower and just go to town. It was the best barbecue I've ever been to. One of the people at this party was like a chef, and he had a chef hat on, and I kill him, and the hat falls off, and then guess what? Buddy can wear the hat. Like, I know you guys are like, okay, he's really talking about this dog. It's the best part of this game, is this gosh darn dog. And here he is, sitting down, and I'm putting a chef's hat on his head. And apparently, there's a whole bunch of hats throughout the game that you can put on the dog. I have Buddy hop through a window that I can't reach, and he opens a door for me. Seriously, this is the best dog ever. Inside, we find this assault rifle, which just felt really satisfying to spray. So we're making our way along. We're finding a whole variety of different weapons, and that also included melee weapons. Now, melee weapons felt really powerful, like OP, because, you know, just one smack in the head, dead zombie, right? Instead of losing all the ammo that is pretty tough to get at this point. But in order to balance it, melee weapons do have a durability. You use them a bunch of times, they will shatter and become relatively useless. But if you do have a bunch of extra melee weapons, and you're like, gosh, my slots are all full, guess what? Buddy can carry your weapons. That's right, he's got like a little cool tactical vest on, and you put those weapons on Buddy, and he's carrying them with you. So you're like, oh no, my axe broke. Buddy, quick, machete. And you grab the machete off Buddy, and you're back in business. I can't stop talking about this dog. It is so good. Eventually, me and my best friend reach a concrete spillway that is just swarming with zombies. Originally, I think they were supposed to have a sniper rifle set up for this so I could like pick them off at a distance, but it wasn't yet available in this game. So they gave me something just as fun, a grenade launcher. Seeing packs of zombies just explode into gore and dust with limbs flying around my head was an absolute blast. At one point, I had a regular grenade, right? And I go up to this zombie and I shove it in its mouth. I do a quick step back movement, bang, bang, shoot the grenade, it explodes. Really, really cool. So we get through the spillway. Buddy and I are about to enter the sewers because you have to go into a very scary sewers if you're gonna be in a zombie game. And that was unfortunately where the demo ended. So overall, Buddy is the best. 10 out of 10, best doggy ever.
Who's the best dog? Huh?
I had a really good time in this demo. It felt like a really good step forward for the franchise, and the improvements from the original, from After the Fall, are definitely everywhere. The graphics are good, the interactions are great, the weapons feel really solid in your hands. My biggest concerns kind of from this was that the game might be too linear. You're just kind of going, you know, through point A to point B, as I said before, and it could get repetitive. Now, there's a ton of different weapons you can use. There's obviously a ton of really epic moments that they want to put you through. There's different environments. So it's, you know, you're not going to be doing the same thing over and over again. But this is a longer story, and when you're doing kind of a linear zombie story, you have to make sure that it's going to be different from all the other hundreds of games that have done it before. I don't know if they're going to be able to pull that off. I really hope so. I had a great time in the limited time I was there. but it's, you know, it's a possibility. So me and the games director were able to chat just a little bit afterwards, but unfortunately he wasn't really able to tell me a whole lot. He knew that the heart and soul of this game was going to be Buddy the dog. Like I said 100 times in this video, I really think they absolutely nailed that. He did tell me there was going to be multiple modes on release, which is going to be for pretty much every single VR headset that is out there, which will include the Quest 2, the Quest 3, PSVR 2, PC VR, all that fun stuff. It'll all come out around the same time, at the same time. Can't confirm, don't have any release dates, but there's going to be multiple modes on release as well, which will include co-op. They are going to do co-op in the campaign. How that's going to work with having a dog companion. Are there 2 dogs? Are there 2 buddies? I hope there's 2 buddies. God, that would be incredible. And I also assume that there's going to be a horde mode as well. So this game shows a great amount of potential, and those looking for a meaty co-op campaign that gives you the best dog ever are really going to want to mark your calendars for this one. I don't know when you're going to mark your calendar, because I think they're actually releasing information on it today, maybe, or they're not. Do one of those. So we either know the release date or we don't. I don't at this moment that I'm recording, but we'll find out.
Please let me know ASAP.
So thank you again so much to Vertigo Games for getting me out there to play this game. I cannot wait to start a full series on this. I cannot wait to just hang out with Buddy. Oh, it's going to be good. Till next time, Wolfpack.